Ain't no way I'm staying at 23.
You want a war? You're gonna get one.
What was that? He had no time for one more play. He had an opportunity to win that game at the end. But the referee screwed us. The brother screwed us. I'm upset, but the brother screwed us.
At least they fought back and tried.
Only Cowboys game.
You literally.
The brother screwed us. The brother screwed us. Yeah, we had one man opportunity for one more play.
Dallas still stinks.
Yo, by the way, Kick Dick back here, and welcome to an afternoon Philly 500 live stream. We are going to talk about whatever you want to talk about, including this draft that's coming and coming very quick. What is going on, everybody? How you guys doing today? What's up, Mem? Laceyford, what's going on? Logan Motorsports, my man, what's going on? Big Gucci, Donnie, E-Money, Chris, Daniel, Jinx, Eagles 1278, Child of the Most High, Brian, Eagles 1278, I think I said that one, Scourge, what's going on? Brian, what's going on? What's up, Philly? What's up, man? Jeffrey, and anybody I missed, thank you for being here. You know, it's interesting to me because as we're getting closer to the draft, one of the things we have kind of talked about with the whole draft is this first round draft may not be the best class that has ever come out, and the true value of this draft lies in the mid rounds. That's why I thought it was interesting what Adam Schefter said today. I guess on the Fanatic, he said, quote, "I know more teams are interested in trading back than trading up. Dallas could potentially want to come up for a defensive player, whether that's Sonny Styles, Ruben Bain Jr., or whomever. Maybe someone will want to trade up for Kenyon Sadiq. I actually see people wanting to trade up for Proctor or one of those offensive linemen because there will be a run on the offensive linemen starting at around 11 or 13. To the Eagles' turn, we'll see. There's always some activity. There always is, but there's a lot more teams that want to trade back than want to trade up. This is according to Adam Schefter. This actually may work out perfectly in the Eagles' favor, and the reason why I say this, and I'm going to hand it to you guys, is if people are trying to get up against Sadiq, people are trying to get up and get Proctor, this may put the Eagles in a situation where a team is coming up from the early second round pick somewhere in that area, and you may actually get an opportunity to acquire another first round pick next year. And if there's a potential that they trade A.J. Brown, well, if they trade A.J. Brown in June, and they know they're going to do it, I say get 3 first round picks for 2027. I think there are a few guys in this draft in the first round that they should go for and try to get. If those guys fall off the board, the Vegas, maybe the Sadiqs, then you trade back. And when you trade back and you trade out of the first round, I don't want just a second round pick and a couple third. I want a 2027 first. So give me a 2027 first, maybe a late second, a third round pick in this year's draft, and then load up with those mid-round picks where the true value of this draft lies. And then you'll have the extra pick in 2027 in the first round where they're saying the draft is top heavy especially. So that's how I think the Eagles should play this. And when I see what he's saying, it means maybe there's not going to be as many chances. However, you never know. You get a team like that's not that good. Maybe, they pick in a high second. Maybe a GM's job's on the line and he ain't worried about the pick next year. and they become desperate to trade up. But that's what I would like to see the Eagles do. Now, with that said, what the hell is a chow tongue anyways? But with that said, what do you guys think? Yes, 100% agree. Howie's good in the mid picks. Well, I think that's where the value lies. You know, is it blue? What the hell? Methylene blue. What can I say? We definitely should trade up for Sadiq or a safety. Yeah, I mean, I think you could get safety in the second, third round, somewhere in there. To me, like, I'll go up for Vega. You know, if a Caleb Downs was to fall, I'd go up for him. But, you know, I don't know if there's very many other people that I'm trading up for. I think if maybe 3 or 4 guys go off the board, I think you move back, man. But it sounds like everybody wants to move back. Sean, what's going on? Bottom line draft is no bueno as far as elite talent goes. Exactly. And I did respond to your DM earlier today, and I do agree with you. Do it, you know. Give the first and the fourth for Maxx Crosby, and that's the other thing. If there's not a lot of guys really worthy of that first round pick, and you can't trade back because everybody's trying to move back, then why not use that first round pick and go out and acquire a Maxx Crosby or something like that? Use it towards something that will actually help you out, you know? Go Birds, excited for this season. Me too, man. I'm ready for football. I'm ready for the draft next week. Me, Joey, we will streaming. It should be fun. It should be a lot of fun. Jake, what's going on? You're not getting anything for this year post-June. Well, that's the point. But that's the point. I don't want anything for this year. That's not a bad thing. You don't want when people say, oh, 2026 first for A.J. Brown, why? You don't want a 2026 first. You want a 2027 first. So would you consider trading up for Kenyon Sadiq? I'm probably, I might, it depends. Like, I'm not going up to like 15. I would for Vega, but I'm not going up there. But like to 20, 21, somewhere around there, yeah, I might. Don't let Bain and Carter drive. I don't believe that Bain is going to be in a situation where the Eagles could ever get him. You train up high for Bain. How high do you think you have to go? I mean, you're talking into the top 10, right? Like 8 or 9 if everything falls accordingly. What up, Timothy? How do you feel on what the draft and stuff? Well, I like where the Eagles are positionally in the draft. They've got a lot of mid-round picks, and I like that. I just think that the true value of this draft is in the mid-round, and I think if you could stack up on multiple first-round picks next year, I think it's the time to do it. Or go out and get a edge rusher. You still need an edge rusher. I don't care what anybody says. And by the way, I'm going to be going live on Big Phil's show in about 35 minutes. I might just keep this live running, even though I won't be able to respond. But you'll be able to stay here if you want, but you won't be able to hear anybody. But I will be doing that towards the end. Bain's career might be over before it starts. He's very serious situation where I don't know anything about the situation, so I have no idea what's going on with that. Like I haven't followed what the specifics are. I'm really interested to see what tackles are available when we pick. If Blake Miller or Max Leonard are there gone, I'm trading back. Yeah, I don't blame you. I think there's going to be a run on offensive linemen too. And I think that's because I think a lot of teams, I think there's some decent offensive linemen, but I also think that's because teams think that's the safest pick. Tackle round 1, maybe. I mean, it's got to be the right guy. I mean, remember when they took a tackle named Andre Dillard? That didn't work out too good, To me, usually a tackle, like, usually tackles are like, they go high, way higher. 500, would you move up? Probably not. I mean, you would have to go, how high are we talking? Like, probably not. You might move up for Thienen, Exciting Ways 2.0. Yeah, I like him. I don't know if I would move up for safety, to be honest with you. I would take a safety. I think Caleb Downs I would, you know. So would you be mad if drafted Proctor either? No, not at all. I would not be mad about Proctor at all. But I don't think, like, I think you got to take Proctor at 23 or later. Like, I don't think I would move up for him or anything like that. Matter of fact, it sounds like he may be one of the guys that teams are trying to get up for to get him. So maybe the Eagles will luck out in that situation. I mean, for teams to trade up, somebody's got to go back. So yeah, I think they've had a couple safety. The Toledo kid, I think, visited. Yes, Big Ben, my man. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. We got 368 people. We got less than 100 likes. Hit that like button. 500 needs it. It's been a crazy week so far this week, but hopefully things are starting to settle down now. What's good, 500? It's me, Troy's, Troy. It's me, Troy. My grandson, Little Philly. Oh, what's up, Little Philly? Hope you guys are doing well, man. I'm glad you're with your grandson. Oh, AJ stays? I'm 50-50. I would guess, I think at the end, if you put a gun in my head, I would say he stays. At the end of the day, I just don't know if anybody's going to give up what they want compensation-wise. And I think and I don't think the Eagles are going to budge at all. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, we'll see. I had a weird dream last night. I don't know why, but I had a weird dream that somehow Mike Evans, something happened and he ended up with the Eagles before the season. I know he just signed with the 49ers. It was just a weird dream. I think AJ stays. That's how he gets. Yeah, me too. Me too. It would be crazy if every team traded out of the first round this year. Yeah, I mean, what's the record? I wonder what the record is. I have a feeling 500 we trade for Garrett. I like it, Jinx. I like it. See, I like something like that. I almost expect something like that. Like, I feel like Howie, I think he's been awfully quiet, like a little too quiet, and I think he's choosing around the draft to make his move. I think Howie's got something in store for us during this draft. I don't know what it is, you know what I mean? If Bain is there at 13, you move up and get him. Yeah, I would strongly consider it. If he gets to 13, yeah, I would consider it then. But I'm not going top 12 though. Yeah, I love Sutton, but I think he's one of those guys that you don't have to take in the first round. You know, the closer we get to this draft, the more I'm interested in trading out of the first round altogether. I really am. Because, I mean, Vega's going to go probably like 13, 14, 15, somewhere, you know? You responded and then I just responded before. So I might be one up on you. $500, imagine we end up with Garrett and Vega on draft night. I'd be ecstatic. I just don't see how that could happen though. That's the only issue, you know. Wait, no way you bring a guy who called the locker room a shit show back? My man, you want him gone. To me, it's always about the value. I just can't give him away for nothing. What up, Logan Motorsports? Yeah, I used this year's first to go get Miles. Could you imagine? Maxx would be. I think Maxx is more affordable. He's going to be a lot cheaper to get. Like, I think one first-round pick, like a first, a third. Well, there was an ESPN like mock trade. I think it was a first, something else, and like Nolan Smith. I'm like, yeah, I would do that. I would do it. I would strongly consider using this year's first-round pick. Like, if you could go a first and like a third next year or a fourth next year or something like that, like a first and a third this year for Maxx Crosby, I would do that. I don't think they're going to get 2 first-round picks now. So that would be interesting. And you know Maxx Crosby would love to play for the Eagles. Love it. Dalton, thank you for the super chat, my man. First of the day, I appreciate you, my man. Thank you. I'd move up for Sadiq. Would love to have him on the team, but wouldn't be surprised to see him go top 15, which is too rich. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't go up to 15. If he fell to like 19 or 20, I would consider it. I mean, they need a tight end. There's no question about it, you know. And thank you for the super chat. What are your guys' thoughts on Ertz maybe coming back or finishing his career with the Eagles? He is coming off a nasty injury, but if you did draft a guy like Sadiq, would you bring Ertz in for the year to help mentor him? Dirty Sanchez, thank you for the super chat, my man. Appreciate it. Heard y'all were going to trade out of the first round altogether for 3 number 7s. For 3 number 7s? Yeah. Well, it's a good number. 3-7 is a good number, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. Max, yeah, he does. It's not. It doesn't come without risk. That's for sure. But if you could get 3-4 years out of him, I mean, look, there's nobody that you're going to draft in the first round of this year's draft that is better than him, you know. And of course, the one thing about it is it's really for a like right now trade. It's for immediate impact. There's no question about it. But, you know, I don't know that Maxx Crosby's knee situation is as bad as it seems. I think Baltimore was up to all sorts of no good, to be honest with you. Philly Oldhead, what's going on? My man, what's going on, my man? How are you? Hope you're well. I believe Howie's making it clear AJ's going nowhere. Yeah, AJ Brown's an Eagle. That's what he said, and I loved every second of it. I mean, if AJ stays, do you realize how good this receiving core is? I mean, geez, it is really good. You know, if he goes, then what do you do at round? You know, at the second wide receiver spot? Is Wicks that number 2 guy? Is he ready to be that number 2 guy? That I don't know. What would I do if we trade up for Lemon? Yeah, I would be upset. I would be upset. I would probably have to really try to hold my tongue and not say something stupid that people are going to be repeating for years. But I would feel like, because my thoughts on Lemon are, good talent. I think he has a chance to be really good, but I'm not so sure enough where I want to use a first round pick for him. If it's a second round, I'm all for it. I think he could end up being a really good player, but none of the receivers in this draft I want to give up a first round pick for. The only guy that I would consider would be Tate, and he'll be long gone. And probably Jordan Tice is probably the guy I like the most in terms of just talent, but his injuries scare me. So the Eagles had a virtual Zoom meeting with our Mason Thomas edge from OU, one of my favorite players. Where are they? That's great. I mean, we're going to need an edge rusher, but like, where are they expecting him to go? I'm a little concerned about taking an edge rusher in the first round. Like, if you've got, 3-4 edge rushers off the board, and then you get a run on linemen and edge rushers, like, what are we going to do? Pick the 5th, 6th best edge rusher in the draft when it's time to pick? Plus, I mean, is a rookie going to come in and then go in and be as good as Jalen Phillips was last year? Like, you need a legitimate edge rusher on that other side, or Nolan Smith needs to show up. So to me, I still think you need a veteran edge rusher. I think you need a veteran edge rusher. Hey, War Raid, what's going on, my man? He's a serious cap hit. Otherwise, we keep him. I don't bet, but I would. If we who are you talking about, Brian? You love it for Ertz? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a nice story. It's feel good and all that. I don't know what he's got left. I mean, that was a pretty nasty injury to take at his age, right? Mason Thomas is Nolan Smith 2.0. Philly, ask Mark if the Cowboys love Pickens so much. Why is he not signed yet? He'll go, well, that's how they do business. Jerry Jones does business that way. It'll be something like that. You watch. I go on there, and it's gonna be, and now the greatest Cowboys content creator ever, Mark Holmes, and it's gonna be like, Mark, the Cowboys really have done this and this, and they are really they're really doing a great job this offseason. Dak is an elite quarterback, spectacular. Everything they've done spectacular, and then it's gonna be like Philly, the Eagles. I mean, do you give your quarterback an extension? Do you sign Jalen Carter? Do you sign Quinion? Why would you sign these guys? It's like, what the frig? Barbie Doll Princess of YouTube is here. What's up? I like Sutton in the third. But first and second, I don't know. Most likely offensive lineman, safety. See, I kind of feel the same way. I kind of feel like I would like to see the first round pick be offensive lineman, maybe Kenyon Sadiq. Then in the second round, I can see you can go. I like it safety or edge, or not edge, safety, edge, or wide receiver if you think you need one. And then third round, also edge. But I'm telling you, Crosby to me, for the 2026 first round pick, it's starting to look better and better. Go get Maxx Crosby, our first this year, second next year, possibly a third rounder. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of Philly old head. I'm thinking because of the Baltimore situation, the value has come way down. I'm thinking maybe a first and a third, maybe a player, something like that. Yeah, I like the running back core, I guess. I like Barkley, I like Tank. I think Pierce could be nice, and I think Shipley, we got to see something from him. What up, Craig? How are you? Can't wait to see the Eagles offense without AJ. Ugh. Do you mean that sarcastically, or do you mean that you just want him gone? Burrow and Herbert having extensions either tells us that yeah, I know, but it'll be some reason. Well, players are they're paid on stats. They're paid on stats, not wins. What happens if the Cowboys trade Pickens? I think Mark Holmes. Yeah, Mark will probably be drunk on the floor, and then he'll tell you how great of a move it was. Howie did mention about Lane's position. Howie's probably going to draft offensive lineman. I hope offensive lineman. I do. I think they need to go. I think they need, with the unknown of Landon Dickerson, the unknown of Cam Jurgens, not just for this year, but going forward, I think you need reinforcements. You know what I mean? Raul Chetta says, I want the safety from Toledo. Yeah, I like him too. So what's your take on Diana Rossini's situation? I think it's crazy. I think there's a lot of shenanigans going there. Whether she was cheating on her husband or not, it sure seems like it. Just by the way, you hear the way she's talked about her husband in the past, it don't sound good. But also, those pictures look bad. However, I do think she was trying to help the Patriots acquire A.J. Brown, and I think they should look into it. Anyone who wants old man Maxx Crosby or Myles Garrett for 2 firsts all are smoking crack. Well, I mean, how old is Maxx Crosby? What is he, 28 years old? That's not old. You could say he's worn down, I guess, maybe. Myles Garrett, on the other hand, I don't know, man. I don't know how that's smoking crack. It must be some good-ass crack. Because you're talking about a guy who's probably the best player in the National Football League. And he's generational type talent. You don't see much. And he probably has a good 4 or 5 years left. I don't know. I don't know what 2 first-round picks necessarily are going to be better than him. Let me see what Maxx Crosby's age is. I thought he was like 28. He's 28 years old. He'll be 29 in August. So he'll be 29 this year. Yeah, he's right at my cutoff. Unless he's Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is the only guy 30 years old I would ever even consider it for. So I'll have to respectfully disagree on that one. Especially because I think that could take you over the top. If you could get Crosby for the 23rd, that's insane value, and throw in one of our 2/3. I don't necessarily love any prospects falling to us at 23 besides Ian W. Yeah, I know. It's kind of how I feel too. First and third would be good. It would be good. I agree. We got 492 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. All right, Mr. International, you have a good day, man. You know, have a great day, man. And thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, I just got the text from Xander, so we're gonna go on soon. Now I do. Let me see here. Let's see here. I do gotta tell you about this though, right? Prize Picks, all right? Prize Picks, what is that? Oh, what is that? Get that off the screen. Get off the screen there. Don't mess with my Prize Picks here. All right? Prize Picks is America's #1 sports app. The app is easy to use. Just pick more or less on a few players, and you can build your own lineup. It's legal in most states, including California. All right? And today, I'm building, man. I'm planning on making some money. So we got some building to do, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is I'm thinking. Look at this. Look at this. Saquon Barkley, 2026, regular season, 1,099 yards. More or less. 1,099 yards for Barkley? What, are they crazy? Barkley's going to have at least 1,500 yards this year. I've got to go more, man. Then, if you look at this, Bijan Robinson, 1,100 yards. No, see, I think Bijan, he's going to continue his ascension. I think he's 1,400 yard too. So today, we are going to lock this in now, because if we wait, we're crazy. We're going to do 20. We'll play a little bit with Barkley, a little Bijan, and we are going to take those guys for our play today. Okay, and that's really today's pick. Head over to Prize Picks. Use code HMA when you sign up. That's HMA, and they'll hook you up with $50 in free lineups when you play your first $5. That's $50. When you play your first 5, just use promo code HMA. Shout out to them for sponsoring this video. We appreciate it. Now, back to business, because that's what we're running. We're a business here. We've got to get better, and we've got to pull something off in this draft, whether it's a veteran player like a Maxx Crosby or Myles Garrett, or it's acquiring multiple 2027 first-round picks, or going up and getting my man Vega. The one thing the Eagles, I believe, cannot do in this draft, the one thing they can't do is stay at 23. You just can't stay at 23. You know? It's a fact, though, that not a single GM would take Hurts over those guys. Y'all gaslight yourselves all you want. Free country, you can eat. Yeah, I mean, man, this Hurts stuff. What do you consider more important? Wins or putting up big numbers? That's all I want to know. Because people could say what they want about these elite quarterbacks and they put up all these numbers, but all of them have bad teams. All of them don't have teams that are good enough to win. Only Jalen Hurts had a good enough team. Yeah, I don't believe it. There's something about winning and winning big games and being a winner that to me is more important than these stats. So everybody's going to kill Hurts and cry about he doesn't have these stats and he doesn't do this well and he doesn't do that well. And he's just going to keep up racking wins and stacking bowls. And that's how I really look at it, If you see a character, yeah, I hate it. Hate it. I liked it. I liked the third one. I wish I had a picture of it, but I like their third. I like their third logo, their alternate with the arrow going through the W. But they needed to get rid of that W altogether, dude. I just, I like the colors, but Football has become more about stats than winning championships. Now Super Bowls don't matter. It seems so. I mean, that's what everybody talks and cries about. How come all these elite quarterbacks don't win Super Bowls? Oh, well, they don't have teams. Okay, so all these elite quarterbacks don't have good enough teams. It's hard to believe. There's something about winning big games and being in situations and being able to do that. And I don't care what anybody says. Hurts does that. Yeah, I agree. Agreed. Yo, Philly, you've heard of Chase Biontez, a second-round guard? No, I don't know anything about him. 6'5", 315, interesting. The Eagles, what, they talked to him? Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know much about him. But, hey, I like it. I mean, look, anything they do offensive line-wise is not going to bother me one iota. I'm completely good with that, man. Trade Tanner and a third to the Jets for a 16th pick. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen with Tanner. Like, I thought when they got what's his face, when they got Vampire Wentz, I thought, yeah, they're gonna end up trading him. Now I'm not so sure. So I don't know what to make of it, really, to be honest with you. Kenyon Sadiq will prevent the offense droughts the Eagles had. Any team that drafts Sadiq will give NED nightmares. Hope Howie has this one. Look, I have no problem. Sadiq's probably my number 2 guy to take on my list, because I do think there's a lot of like over analyzation of him. I think he's very talented, and they need a tight end. You may be right. You believe how he's going to trade Tanner to Steelers? You think so? Do you think Rodgers is coming back or no? Philly Tide, what's going on? 457 mother jumpers, but less than 60 likes. What? I got 180. Hit refresh. I think you got 181. But I appreciate it. Philly, as for Holmes, why he lied in a video yesterday saying the NFL doesn't have a date for the Super Bowl next year. All you had to do is Google the date. It's on Valentine. I'll try to remember that. There's a lot going on during that. So don't kill me if I don't. But if I remember, I will. Would you consider trading with the Ravens or Jets to move up? I mean, potentially, yeah. I mean, I would listen to every possible scenario. You know, a lot of questions. AJ Brown's definitely gone June 1st. Eagles usually sign players early, and not signing Hurts to an extension is fishy. An offensive coordinator that's never been offensive coordinator, no Carter extension. So what do you think, Joe Barnett? Like, what do you think that all means? Do you think that means they're getting ready to like tear this whole team down and break it up? I mean, because I don't know. Yeah, the Eagles, we knew they weren't going to sign a bunch of guys. They really needed to get an edge rusher in free agency. Then if you look at Hurts' extension, I never expected Hurts to get an extension this all season anyways. I thought they were going to wait 1 year. Now, maybe there are things they want to wait with him. I don't know, And then I don't worry about the offensive coordinator. The fact that they got a new guy, I like. I kind of get sick and tired of the retreading the same coaches, through the NFL. So I'm okay with that. And the extension for Carter, I still believe that's coming. I still believe that's coming. It may be Carter that doesn't want to do it because he knows if he goes out and has one more year at a high level, he'll get a lot. Master Eagle, what's going on? Oh, you're good, Phil Tide. We can use all those we can get. I hope Tanner's 2 this year, not Dalton. You mean Vampire Wentz. I agree. Our O-line's falling apart? Well, I think there are legit questions about the O-line. I mean, I think with Landon and Cam's health, I think those are fair. That's why I think the Eagles' focus really early in the draft should be that offensive line. But if those guys are healthy, if they just needed time and it was just that, you had the Super Bowl, you had then a bunch of surgeries, and they were just never really healed, they may come back stronger than ever this year. So I think the offensive line stuff is fair. I think the wondering what's going to happen with AJ is fair. I think the Carter extension and Hurts thing, I don't think is as big a deal. But I mean, I respect your opinion. 500. I knew all this trade bullshit with AJ was fake as hell. This whole Rossini scandal was just a ploy to tank AJ's trade value for the Patriots. What a bunch of a-holes. I hear you, man. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but drafted tight ends first stupid. You think? Why? Why do you think it's stupid? I'm just curious. I mean, I think if you could get a tight end that you can, use a lot. I mean, just think about it. If you look at the way that the Packers used their tight end last year, I mean, he was the best receiver. Man may like to actually want to use a tight end. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it depends. I don't think, for the most part, a punter, kicker, long snapper. I mean, to me personally, if a guy's good enough, I don't care what position it is. If he's a safety and he's good enough, I'm going to take him in the first round. If it's an interior offensive lineman and he's good enough, I'm going to take him in the first round. I'm not going to let that position dictate, because if you start letting positions dictate everything and you overlook talent, I think that's when you get in trouble. You think McKee's the future? Interesting. Any other positions you would draft other than offensive lineman or tight end or even wide? I wouldn't draft a wide receiver in the first. Okay, the positions I would consider safety. I would also consider edge rusher if there's one available, but you got to be pretty sure on him. Can't trade for Garrett. He is the best player in the league. I do not believe Garrett will be with the Cleveland Browns. I do not believe Garrett is going to be with the Browns come this season. I believe he will get traded. Tony says, I'm not impressed with Sadiq's tape at tight end. I think he looks like he should have been a pass rusher. Not saying he's not good, just not enough to trade up for. Fair enough. Do you think overall talent-wise, from a physical abilities and what he could do if he gets developed by good NFL coaches, do you think he could be a good tight end in this league? That's the question, I have. All right, so we're going to get ready to go over to Sills. I'm going to keep this on. If you guys want to hang out, you're more than welcome to hang in here. I won't be able to answer stuff because I'll be on the Jacob Media stuff, and if you want to see the whole thing, you can do that, but you'll at least be able to hang back here if you don't feel like going over there and stuff. So I am going to get ready to do that right now, though. I got to go see what B-crap they pushing today. So it'll be Eagles bad, Cowboys good. You know how it goes. Just make sure I didn't miss anything before we go. Okay, good. All right. Let's get this show on the road. About to go backstage here. And if for some reason I get cut off or something like that, I apologize. Okay. All right. So we good. We ready to sign in. Let me see here. Are we still here? Yeah. I'm not gonna dig in too deep, but Jacob Media. It's on Jacob Media. Oh yeah, but we're behind. Thank you, my man. Type of tight end does matter too. That is totally true. I mean, I kind of get it, I guess. Ados, thank you for the super chat, my man. I appreciate you. Should Hurts be moved to fullback or tight end? Hurts? No. Why would you move the reigning Super Bowl MVP quarterback? Well, not reigning, but why would you a guy that could do that? No, you don't move to tight end. That's you don't even. You're just trying to piss me off. But I appreciate the super chat. Would I bring back Ertz? 50-50. If I got Kenyon Sadiq, I might. For like a mentor role, but it doesn't have to be. Philly, I think we're going to the Super Bowl. I don't know. I can't say that right now. It's too early, But I think the Eagles are one of the main contenders in the NFC. And if they can, do a few things, I think they could get there, So, we'll see. And if I see any questions that I feel like I could ask, I will. I'll be trying to read those comments. I won't be able to read them out loud, but all right, we're going in right now. All right, we're typing. What's happening, man? All right, let's see what happens today. What's today's bullshit? All right, are we still live on here? All right, it's the second time I've done this, but we'll see. Howie's overlooking pass rush. Howie is overlooking safety edge rusher. Yeah, I don't know. You think he's like? What do you mean overlooking? What do you think of Michael Irvin's comment about Hurts? Yeah, but what did he say, Irvin? Brian's, are you the best? Oh, man, thank you, man. I appreciate you. What did he say, though? I don't know what he said. Dallas still stinks. They did. What did Irvin say? Dude, it's a week later and we're still talking about Hurts. It's just crazy, Zach Ertz went in second, and Kelsey went in the third. Interesting. Kelsey went in the third. That's interesting. Eagles don't need bread. They need Sadiq. Can't understand. Yeah, could be right. I agree. Hurts he can hit 3K. With a competent coordinator, he's capable of it. Don't believe that he's not capable of it. I don't believe any of that kind of stuff. I don't believe any of that kind of stuff. Here we go. 500's got to go in. I'm going on Philly Station to protect the Eagles against the Dallas Cowboys glazing. The glazing donuts. Here we go. All right, I'm about to go in right now. Here we go. What's happening? How you guys? Great. Can't complain. Mark was thinking about that comment all week, by the way. He was trying to figure out how to respond. Right, Mark? I know. Now have Mark hold Dak Prescott to those same standards. Maybe time has come and passed you by, and it's time to rebuild. It's okay for the Eagles to do it with Jalen Hurts, who's won a Super Bowl, been it too. But a guy like Dak, we don't talk like that. Yeah, I don't. I thought, in truthfulness, I thought his comments were interesting. I don't think they denied the story, and I think that, I mean, that's fair. But I don't think the relationship is at an end, or this is the beginning of the end. I think Howie wants to make sure and keep things in house, and that's where he likes it. So, time will tell. Now, do you want to say, is this a big year for Hurts and his team? Yeah, I think so. With the new offensive coordinator, I think it's a big year for Hurts. I think it's a big year for Nick Sirianni. Nick was awfully quiet. Right. No, I do not. I actually think that when, Barkley started going off and they really went heavy in that run game, I think it was, you didn't really hear them talk about developing Hurts and stuff like that. Like, I remember, a few years ago, like when Hurts would, like, bail to the right, they would talk about, we got to coach him up on that. He's got to step up. And they would talk about, there's still things that develop, and players don't stop developing just because, they're veterans now and they still can get better. But it sure seemed like they didn't really care whether or not Hurts was developing as a quarterback. They just cared if he was turning the ball over or not. That's the sense I got. And I think Nick, to me, Nick comes off sometimes like he's protecting himself more than anything. I didn't say Dak. I didn't say Dak should go. I said you hold Dak to the same standards you hold Jalen Hurts to with the comment that you made, because you don't. And you want to say, oh, Dak's closer to being elite. What is that? What is that, elite? What? He puts up stats, but he doesn't win playoff games. He doesn't win Super Bowls. Jalen Hurts, regardless of what you say, he wins, Sills. He wins. No, well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that at all. And I think you have to look at where a lot of that comes from. And this is to me what this year is going to prove. A lot of people want to say, oh, but it has to do with Jalen Hurts and his inabilities to be able to go out and be a good quarterback. Yet, you look at his winning record, you look at the team wins. That's what I care about. I don't care about whether he throws 45 touchdowns. But hold on. The other thing, about this is, of course, you're going to hear things like that come from coaches who have let the guy down. These coaches, Nick, I'm sorry, Nick, Patullo, it was always about what the players aren't doing, and it was never about what they are. I believe that when you put good offensive coordinator, good coaches around Jalen Hurts, I believe a lot of this stuff is going to go away. And I think he's going to prove a lot of everybody wrong. Wait. What are we talking about? Are we talking about a guy putting up elite numbers or winning games? The guy went to 2 Super Bowl sales, and you want to say that's because they stunk. Because they stunk. Because we keep losing our good coaches that get us to Super Bowls. Every time they go to Super Bowl, we lose all our coaches on the offensive side of the ball. We keep doing it. Well, Gannon stinks. All right, but he stinks. So, how many times do the Eagles go to a Super Bowl and they lose their coordinator? How many coordinators has this guy had to have? Every time we have an ounce of success, every time Jalen Hurts goes out, and has a good year and he gets them to the Super Bowl, it's all the coaches that made him such a great quarterback that could do it. And then we lose those coaches and then we have to start over. And I'm sorry, but a couple of those choices in between have been horrible coaches. And they've been horrendously horrible. I would say Patullo was historically horrible. I'm not trying to tell you that Jalen Hurts is Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying he's some elite throwing quarterback to put up huge stats. But you can't deny that the guy wins. And yes, a lot of elite team quarterbacks have good teams, but they don't win as much as him. So you guys put bigger emphasis on the stats. I look at it as wins. If he fits a team that wins, then whatever. I don't know that the Eagles are. Doesn't need to be. You don't need he doesn't need to be. We don't have a bad roster. We have a roster with a lot of talent. We should be winning. Just Well, any answer I give you, you're going to say, what's the proof you have there, since he has no experience? So it's kind of a question you're trying to set me up, because no matter what, you're going to say he has no experience. Well, that's where the blame on, in my opinion, the head coach comes for hiring him. He should, why was he hired? When he got hired, we sat here, we said, what do we think of the Patul signing? Not great. But they're good enough where they can make up for it. They're going to run the ball. Everybody knows they're going to run the ball. They can't stop it. And that was the thought process. And it was flawed. Mm-hmm. Well, wait. So you're throwing it if the running back doesn't perform. So if the Eagles are one-dimensional, then Jalen, I have to answer that. If any team is one-dimensional, you're going to have problems. What year? What year were we one-dimensional? You still had a decent running game. What do you mean? I think that's Miles Sanders had his best year as a running ball. Well, yeah, because the guy ran for historical numbers. Of course you're not going to pass as much. Huh? I'm not saying it's balanced. I'm not saying it's balanced. And I'm not saying it's perfect. I believe we don't. I don't believe we have shitty talent on offense. Right? I think we've got the players on offense. I just don't think they played up to standards, and I don't think they were put in the right positions. yet to be determined. I mean, to me, the key to the offense getting back on track isn't Jalen Hurts. It's Saquon Barkley in that running game. If that opens up, then everything else will open up. But see, where I think that Petula really, I think he was really that bad. And I don't want to put all the blame on him. I'm not trying to do that. But I've been streaming for years. Mark, you've been streaming. I've never been in chats where everybody's calling the plays out beforehand. We all knew what was coming. So did the rest of the league. I don't think that this coach, Nick or Kevin Petula, put him or that offense in the right position. I don't think they had answers. They couldn't make in-game adjustments, and that was the way it was. Right. And you're talking about him running the ball more. That's what you're talking about. I personally agree. I would like to see him run the ball more. I like when that element is in the game. I think they got away from it. I think when you pay a quarterback that kind of money, they worry about injuries. I'd like to see it happen more and use him more in those situations. But I also think that there are elements of the game that they've ignored that Hurts can do, and that Hurts has been crying to do. You know, the short passing game, the quick passes, not try to either run the ball or go, yeah. And these are things that Hurts has cried about, and they've ignored it, and people go and assume that's because he can't do it. And I don't believe that's the case. Yeah. Personally, I would. I don't know a lot about the off the field story, so I can't comment on that. But mm, yes, I probably would. Yeah. Mm. Well, they don't care. Yeah. Cowboys second stadium is the county jail. I mean, what are we talking about? Their second stadium is the county jail. What are you talking about? I'm still going to say no. My delusion, I'm going to go delusional. No. I don't think teams are going to give up what the Eagles want. Wow, her and Dak may be a pretty crazy combination right there. I'll tell you that. Unless Vegas, only Vegas. If Vegas not there, I would take them. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So thank you. Awesome. All right. All right. So there you go. Another whatchamacallit. Just hold on, let me see this. Hold on, I gotta fix something in my description. Sorry about that. Let's see here. It's hard to do this during streams. All right. Let's see. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys were in there or not, but once again, yeah, it's 2 versus 1. Davey celebrates 24 months of membership. Thank you so much. What's happening, 500? We just got back from Jacob Media. So, yeah, it is what it is. It's just, my whole point was like, just why don't we hold these other guys to the same standards? It's like, well, if if the Eagles don't have a running game, how's Hurts going to elevate the team? You tell me how many quarterbacks, even elite quarterbacks, they don't have players around them. If they're one-dimensional, are going to struggle too. It's like a lot of gotcha type stuff. But I don't fall for the trap. They were making the whole time. I know they were making out, slurping, man. It's like, oh yeah, it's time for the Eagles to get rid of Jalen Hurts, and maybe time has run its course. Time has run its course. The guy's gone to 2 Super Bowls, won one, and your guy has done nothing in 10 years, and he should stay. I think it's crazy, man. My perfect draft first 4 picks would be first round Kenyon Sadiq, second round Emmanuel Brandon, Chase Bizantis, third position. That's not bad. I like it. Still sound like Mark last week saying these moves are being made for McKee more than Hurts. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Good job, Philly. Still glazing for Holmes. Well, I saw the chat there. Like, they are killing me. That chat is that must be like all anti-Hurts, right, in there? Because, boy, the amount of comments, maybe there are a lot of Cowboy fans. It's like, he's sticking up for Hurts. I'm like, I think I'm being fair. As soon as they talk about Hurts, would have nothing to dream about. Yeah. Nick is the problem. I think that the offense, Hurts has a good year. Everybody gets credit for it, right? So Hurts has a good year. We go to Super Bowl. Oh, all the offensive coaches get hired. Come back, have a bad year, it's on Hurts, right? When it's a good year and Jalen has a good year and the team goes far, it's everybody else. When it's bad, it's all Jalen. It's like, you can't win either way. Susan Mark needs to go on a camping trip together, right? Josh Allen last year had the number 1 running back, the number 2 secondary, and no Patrick Mahomes in the way, it still couldn't win. Agreed. And I'm not saying that Hurts is perfect. I don't think that. And I think the Eagles want him to do more in the passing game. But I really think the coach was really bad last year, man. I do. 500 went in the Lions, then it came out the victor. There you go. The whole base is Eagles. Yeah, I was surprised, really. Philly, as bad as our pass attack was, we were only 30 yards away per game from top 10. That's play here and there. That's exactly right. That's a play here or there. Maybe, one less penalty, a couple less penalties a game. I don't look at Hurts and say, well, he's going to be Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. Like, I don't see him as that kind of quarterback. But I see him as a guy that should throw somewhere around 21, 30 passes a game. And if you have a good running game, he will win you games. And I don't think that's a bad thing, Muscletron, thank you for Super Chat. Sills asked why change the offense when the Cowboys just hired the one guy who knows our offensive tendencies better than anyone. That's a great point, Muscletron. I didn't even think of that. But that is a great point, Great point, because they did. How many big plays did we see get called back by penalty every game? It seemed like it was every game at least 2 or 3 times, if you look at their play last year, like, how come was it every week we would come out and in the first 2 drives we moved the ball fairly well. We go down the field, no problem. But as soon as the defenses adjusted, what would happen? The offense would go stale for 3 quarters. And then maybe at the end, Hurts and they would put together a drive and win the game or something like that. But, we had no answer for in-game adjustments and stuff. And I don't think they put those guys in the right position. And I also do think Hurts has to be better at stuff. He bails to the right way too much and throw it. He needs to stop that. He needs to step up in the pocket. He's got to continue to get better also. Nobody's saying that, but every one of the questions that I feel that they ask is like a question that would pertain to pretty much every quarterback in the league. But it's like only Hurts. Yeah, 8 days till the draft. Hey, Philly, if we trade A.J. Brown for 2027 first and a second-round pick, I see us only doing it if we're trading for Garrett or Crosby. Then Kenyon Sadiq is perfect pick to go after Weber. I mean, maybe. I mean, next year's supposed to be loaded, so that's a top-heavy draft. To have multiple picks in 2027 is not a bad deal. Yeah. What's up, Savvy Cuts? He is who he thought he was. Yeah. Nick looked clueless with KP for adjustments, almost like Nick was edging KP under. Well, my whole thing is like, dude, they make a big deal out of the 4 verts Hurts. Like, why didn't the coaches step up and say, no, we're going to call something better? You give up this year's and next year's for Crosby? I wouldn't give that much, but I would give up this year's first. I would give up like a first and a mid, Mark was smiling the whole time. Sills was trying to read stats, which was painful to hear. I know, but they don't read the biggest stats at all. The most important ones are the W's. Will you pay Tyreek? Would you sign Tyreek Hill on a 1-year contract, or is he going back to? I don't know what he's doing. I don't know where he's at injury wise. If I lost A.J. Brown, I would consider it. Kevin, what's going on? Philly, Kevin, Heather, don't we have film on Jalen? We keep it Jalen. Tanner can't run. Our division wants Hurts to be standard. Tanner can't run, so there's a flip-flopper. Thank you, my man. Year after year, Josh, Lamar, and Joe choking is old, so they got to come up for Hurts. I know. It's crazy. What's happening? What's going on, CJ? How are you? We just got finished going on Big Sil show. The 70% of the time the quarterback with a Super Bowl win that Dak doesn't have, and we still talking. Yeah, Dak hasn't even sniffed it. Yeah, Hurts' course. That's the thing that blows my mind. It's like, yeah, Hurts has run his course. And all I said to Mark, and he got all offended, but just hold Dak to the same standard. Because you can't do it. You can't hold Jalen Hurts or these other guys to the same standard as Hurts because it's unattainable, really. Apparently, loading up on the roster on the offense to ensure the quarterback fails is a new strategy. Someone should tell the Jets. Sirianni stuck on an offensive built for Peyton Manning. One of the best pre-snap quarterbacks making adjustments without a threader like Peyton makes no sense. I mean, how many times last year, for really the last few years, has Hurts cried about we need a little run the short passing game more. We've heard it over and over again. Hurts wants a short passing game. He wants to use the running backs in the screen game. Those kind of things. Up tempo, and they didn't do it. Ertz reunion, maybe. The main issue is after Steichen was gone, it's been all vertical routes offense. Agreed. Hurts can get back to his best year if you run more horizontal routes. That Hurts will hit on the edge of the field. Oh, I agree. I totally agree with you. Raw Chess says, like I said earlier, drafted tight end in the first round is stupid. There are 6 starting tight ends right now that were drafted the first. Nothing wrong with, they say it there. No, there's nothing wrong with a second or third round pick for tight end. I didn't know there was only 6. Jalen Stone says, I'm so glad y'all defending Hurts. It's about time. Everyone needs to stop putting their input on what a quarterback is on Hurts. He wins, but also we haven't had consistency around him as far as coaches. Yeah, I mean, they literally blame Hurts for his success. It's like, well, why does the offense rank this and this? Well, doesn't he lose his coaches every year? Every time there's a good year, all the coaches get hired, and they made Jalen successful. And then when it's a bad year, it's on Jalen. It's like, how many of these quarterbacks have had the amount of offensive coordinators he has. And I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm not. I'm just trying simply to say, let's judge Jalen Hurts on the same standards as everybody else. Or you bring those guys to the standards in which you judge Jalen Hurts. And when I say that, and I put that out to Mark, he gets offended. He gets offended and insulted. I thought we made a trade level. It's hard watching you on the podcast. It's always 2 against 1 and they gang up on you. It pisses me off. Nah, thank you, CJ. We just keep taking it. You know what I mean? We just keep going. Chris vs. the World says they keep focusing on Hurts' passing stats to judge him. But his game isn't about passing stats. We don't need to be a top 5 passer. I agree. And I don't think he's ever going to be 40 passes, 40 touchdown passes thrown. But he needs to throw 21, 30, passes a game, run the ball effectively, and I'd like to see him use his legs a little more than he did last year. But, I think Hurts is going to shut a lot of these people up this year. If Miami pass game is good because of passing game coordinator KP, then we know the problem was all Nick. Yeah, I mean, we're going to find out. We're going to find out this year for sure. Johnny Blaze of Madden, my man. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat. He goes, Kenyon Sadiq will make up for AJ being traded. We can run Aaron Hernandez Gronk type offense. Yeah, I mean, you could do a lot with 2 tight ends. And Mannion, I mean, he did a great job with the Packers and their tight ends. So, yeah, you could be right about that. It's all crazy, man. It's crazy. A lot of under center and play action this year. It'd be nice. I mean, seriously, I stream every game. Everybody knows the plays that are coming. Everybody's sitting at home in the stream, typing it in before it happens. And then, they say, Jalen's offense, or they don't do anything. Well, if you know the plays in this league, and the defense knows what you're going to do, it's going to be a problem. And if the fans watching the game in a chat know the plays, then you can't tell me that the coaches and the defensive coordinators don't either. Run 4 versus they could, I want to see quick, short passing game, play action. I do want to see Hurts over center more. I want to see him use his legs a little more also. But I think if we're okay taking the 4 or 5 yards that the defense gives us and, use that in the passing game and use the running backs out of the backfield, I think Hurts will put up great numbers. But that's not how this offense was built. This offense was pretty much run the ball and go deep. Run the ball and go deep. So, I mean, we'll see. Jalen has great players. Didn't other quarterbacks have great players left? Yeah. Well, they act like Jalen has great players and nobody on these other teams ever had anybody good. How could you be in 2 of the last 4 Super Bowls and anybody blamed for anything? I don't know. I mean, that's what I don't get. I don't get it. Fabio Davis super chat. Look how good the Pats were with without Randy Moss. Yeah, I mean, look, they had Brady, but Randy Moss was great. This is on A.J. Brown, who started this with the reading that damn book. A book. This has started way before. It's crazy. Philly, look at Michael Irvin's video. Okay, I'll check it out. Bird Gang 31, what's going on, man? How are you? Check you out. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Matter of fact, I gotta check. I saw that you DM'd me. I haven't checked my DMs in like 4 or 5 days, but I need to check it. Payne had 55 touchdowns and got smacked in the Super Bowl. That's true. To me, I don't know. As a fan, I don't care if Jalen puts up 40 touchdown passes. I'd rather him throw 25 touchdown passes and win a Super Bowl. And I'm not saying Hurts is not above being criticized. He's got flaws in his game. I don't think that that's an argument. But you look at the questions and the way the questions are. You look at what I asked Mark to hold Dak to the same standard. They put way more on Hurts than these other guys. One thing I see with Hurts is he runs whatever play they call for him. I honestly believe he didn't ask him to. Well, yeah, I think he does too. And then they're saying he changed the plays. That's what that anonymous source says. And it made it sound like every time there was a bad play, it was because Hurts changed the plays. But why is Hurts changing the plays so much? Because you're not calling good plays. And Hurts knows it. And every one of those players on offense knows it. We're going to find out this year. We're going to find out. Either Jalen is going to come in and this offense is going to look good, or it's not. And we'll know who to blame after this year. Hurts is 8th in passing yards, second in rushing touchdowns, second in total touchdowns, rushing touchdowns. Better trade him. I know, it's crazy, man. Crazy. I saw Jacob, the other John Enzer, saying Hurts is not gated. And that people are crazy for thinking he is. Hurts will win MVP. Hell yeah, I'm betting it. I'm betting it, Bird Gang. The way else is MVP. Yeah, I'm betting it this year. Why not? But anyways, guys, I do got to get going. I got to pick my daughter up at school. She's out at 2:30 my time, so that's about 12 minutes. But I do want to thank everybody for joining. It was an interesting. It was an interesting thing on Jacob. I mean, that's what usually happens. And we just keep double moonwalking that ass. But I want to thank everybody for being here. How many NFC Championship games has Dak been to Philly? None. Never even sniffed one. But that ain't his fault. Dak should stay in Dallas another 10 years. I mean, why not? I mean, his time hasn't run its course. Yet Hurts is on his way out. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But who knows? I might come back and stream tomorrow. We'll see. I'll definitely be doing a video tomorrow, and then we'll definitely be doing a stream on Friday. Fred, thank you for the super chat. He goes, yo, what Philly? This offense is going to be very potent. It's going to be the death of 1,000 cuts, meaning the ball is going to be spread all over. And that's what we want. And that's what Jalen's been calling for. I totally agree with you. 1,000% I agree with you, man. 1,000%. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you, but I appreciate that, my man. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining me. I am going to get out of here, though. I will see you guys back tomorrow unless something big breaks. And don't buy all this talk, because I think a lot of people are going to have to eat a lot of crow, and it ain't going to be us. With that said, we out of here. You guys have a great day. And let me show you on the way out what it is like to have quarterbacks that don't win. All right, check this out.
Come on, guys. 2 minutes to go. You have plenty of time. Come on. Oh, shit! Dad! No!
It's over! It's over! This game is over! Cut it off! It's over!
Fuck.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay!
I said run the ball.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Dak Prescott, you need to be fired today! That was on you, Dak! That was on you, Dak! That was on you, Dak!
I said run the ball.
That was on Dak Prescott! Trying to feed the Lamb! Trying to feed the CeeDee Lamb! You tried to feed the CeeDee Lamb! You got to give it to CeeDee Lamb! God! It's over! It's over, Dak! Put Trey Lance in the game. Trey Lance can't do worse than you.
I'm an idiot because I buy into this shit. Because here's the thing. I am a grown-ass man. And I talk the talk. It is killing me.
I feel it coming. I feel like it's going to take Jerry Jones taking. Cut it off. It's over.
Fuck.